And here from the world's most famous arena, Providence and Washington. The winner will meet St. Louis in a championship game tomorrow night. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. John Shambi alongside Sean Farnham. St. Louis with a win in the opener as they were able to get past Virginia Tech. And now in game 2, you get Providence and Washington, the Big East against the Pac-12. So what do you expect style-wise?
Well, first you got to realize that Coach Hopkins in his first season at UW, he's longtime assistant at Syracuse. So what are you going to see? The 2-3 zone, and they've got a lot of length up top, so it's going to be important that Providence tries to get the ball down low and utilize some of their size. Meanwhile, if you're Washington, I think offensively one of the areas I've seen on the film that Providence has struggled at, Boog, is covering the baseline. So on those drives, they're slow in their help side rotations, and teams, in particular Minnesota last time out, was able to find some success against the Friars.
Providence lineups, and it'll be Bullock, Diallo, Young, Cartwright, and Jackson getting to start. And meanwhile, for Mike Hopkins in his first year, Chris, Thibault, Noel, Dickerson, and Timmons starting as the Huskies will see that 2-3 zone. Of course, Mike Hopkins coached and played it under Jim Boeheim out at Syracuse.
And Noah Dickerson, number 15 for Washington, the only player in college basketball this year so far to have 20+ points and 20+ rebounds in a single game. He did it last time out. He had 28 and 22.
It was against Eastern Washington. 22 boards, the most rebounds in a game so far this year. As Washington controls it, we are underway here. Semifinal number 2 at MSG as they try and feed Dickerson. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be Providence basketball.
It wasn't a great entry pass that time by Timmons. But you can see a point of emphasis for Washington. The first game out, they didn't get the ball to Dickerson all that much. And it was Noel that had the big game.
Diallo from the elbow, a little strong. And rebound number 1 for Dickerson. Chris Boyce. And Timmons fighting for it. Out of bounds, Providence basketball. Kyron Cartwright handling. Seems like year in and year out, the Friars always with a really good point guard.
Well, Cartwright had the great opportunity to learn underneath Chris Dunn, who was one of the best players in all of college basketball his senior year.
Bullock a 3 wouldn't go. Diallo the rebound, puts it up and in, and the first points of the game belong to New York City's own Alpha Diallo.
Carved out space on the weak side from that shot, able to corral it and finish the strength. It's a poor pass.
Cartwright feed up ahead. Jackson's shot was blocked. And now the freshman Noel. And Dickerson traveled. We showed you Mike Hopkins, Ed Cooley in his 7th year. Of course, the head coach at Fairfield prior. 5 years there. They've been in the NCAA tournament 4 straight times. That's the first time in school history that the Friars have ever accomplished that.
It's an amazing job. Villanova and Xavier, the only other 2 teams in the Big East that have gone to the last 4 NCAA tournaments. And Ed Cooley, you think he's happy where he's at? What did he tell us earlier?
Bullock up and in.
Said you could bury him at Providence and he's happy. I mean, he really loves the support he's got received from administration.
Yeah.
He loves his staff, and a big part of their success has been the consistency within his coaching staff.
And Noel walked. So for Washington to begin the game, 5 possessions and 4 turnovers.
That's not good. This is good execution against the zone. Little baseline dribble penetration. Drop that pass off through a small window. Easy finish in the paint. You've got to be able to attack the zone inside. You cannot just play up over the top. Pass fake, shot fakes, get the zone shifting ever so slightly.
Bullock inside, and he gets bumped. So Bullock draws the foul as they get Noel with that one.
You see the pass fake, though, elevated Thibault, and that's what vacated that high post area for Bullock to get the ball right at the free throw line. And I think for the Friars to be the team that I think they can be, and that's an NCAA tournament team again, plus 20 wins in the regular season with a chance to advance. The guy at the free throw line has to start playing better. Averaging 8.5 points per contest, but I think he needs to be a 14, 15 point per game scorer for the Friars to take it to that next level. And he has it in him.
He's like the third man along with Benchel and Dunn.
I saw this team a couple of years ago when he was that third man, and I saw what he was able to bring to the court. And I thought, just gosh, his transition to going to be the it guy is going to be smooth.
Dominic Green checking into the game and buries a three. First points of the night for the Huskies. And a turnover. This is David Crisp handling. Jalen Noel turns it over. Cartwright up ahead. Nice feed. Jackson couldn't finish the dunk. And now Crisp. Kick back. Noel a three. Tipped out of bounds, and it's off Khalif Young. It'll stay with Washington.
Unfortunately for Mr. Jackson, we're going to show it to you one more time. Yep. Got to get it above the rim to give it a chance.
More quality analysis from Sean Farnham coming up in the second half. The physics of the dunk. Got to get it above the rim.
Now, the good news is it doesn't matter because Washington's just going to turn it over and give it right back to you. They got 6 turnovers, and we're less than 4 minutes into the game.
Holy cow.
I mean, you got to value the basketball. At some point in time, slow down. It's a big stage. It's bright lights. It's New York City. Calm down and just play the game.
You calm down. I mean, I know you're
over it. Where are you next?
You were a little overwhelmed in the first half of game one, and I feel like you really settled down. Feet inside, and a bucket there for Rodney Bullock.
I thought you knew me. There is no settle down in me.
Yeah. Ever.
You think about this building, though. How many times Billy Joel's played in here?
I know it.
Ali Frazier, the fight of the century in 1971.
Dickerson seals off and puts it in. Great post position and a nice feed from Chris.
Mark it down, the possession in which Washington didn't turn the ball over, and they got 2 points.
You're just going to keep setting me up. Jackson, and that one is blocked, and they get an offensive foul on Isaiah Jackson. Time out of the court, and Providence, the early 3-point lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college.
Well, after a long wait, Mike Hopkins gets his chance to be a head coach. Former guard at Syracuse, 89 to 93. 22 years as a Syracuse assistant. Did serve as an interim coach for 9 games, but their new head coach, and he is intense. First week on the job, and in practices with the kids, he broke his nose and kept practicing, and then the other part was that eventually they had to fix it and set it, and he had literally just shown up, and he's taking pictures with black eyes.
Yep.
But I mean, that is him.
It is 100% him. And last night, they had a great practice. And the one thing that is also him is that passion that you're alluding to.
Yeah.
It spilled over to this team. Look, Washington over the last couple of years has not been noted for their defensive effort. And already you've seen a more galvanized team at that end of the floor. And the 2-3 zone works with the personnel that was left behind by Lorenzo Romar. And Coach Hopkins is really getting the most out of this team right now. They believe in this system. They believe in their defense. They believe it's going to work. And it's still a work in progress. They're still getting all the principles down, but it's been pretty effective so far this season.
Cartwright launches and hits. Byron Cartwright, big-time assist guy, but Providence known for their point guards that both score and pass.
He can shoot the ball from the outside, too.
Inside, Dickerson gets bumped by Watson.
So they're going to get Lindsay on that one.
Beg your pardon, yeah, Jalen Lindsay. And here he is, Noah Dickerson, coming off that game 28 and 22.
And he had to get re-recruited. He took a trip to LSU, was scheduled to take a trip to Florida as well after Lorenzo Romar was relieved of duties.
Which is where he was headed initially. That's where he committed, and then Billy Donovan hamstrayed to go to Oklahoma City. And so he got out of there, came to Washington, but Mike Hopkins glad that he's got this guy back in the fold.
He was actually in Las Vegas talking with his assistant coach, Dave Rice, when he got the call, and said that was the best news he had heard all day.
Bullock in close, and it wouldn't go. And that one will go down for Thibault.
Thibault, an elite level defensive player right now for Washington. He gets 12 deflections last time out, averages over 3.5 steals. He's designed for this defense. As his offensive game continues to improve, in particular from beyond the arc, he can be an all-conference caliber player. He's shooting just 17% from 3.
You know, when you're a new coach, you're not going to get all of the guys you want in right away. But, you know, from a lineup standpoint, Mike Hopkins has the type of team that you like for a 2-3 zone. There are a lot of long guys, and that's usually a pretty crucial part in terms of the physicality of a 2-3 zone, to have guys with a long wingspan.
When they first worked on this defense, Thibault was down low. And they kind of inverted it, moved him up top because of his length and because of how he is what you'd see, that big guard that we're so accustomed to seeing at Syracuse. He can provide that kind of athleticism at the top of the zone. Now, I mentioned he's struggled a little bit from 3 so far this season. He was their most accurate three-point shooter last season, making 41% of his threes. But in this system, in this defense, he's got great upside. Watching practice last night, the one thing about Thibault, and I told him this after practice, I said, you know, what I really was drawn to was your eyes. The way he was watching the ball, it was like laser sharp focus where the ball was. He was in the right position. His hands never drop below his hips. They are always out wide defensively.
Matisse Thibault. He's got a fan on the other side, and Ed Cooley, he was raving about Thibault to us. Feed inside, and flipping it up and in is Nate Watson, and Ed Cooley thinks that this kid could end up being a really good player.
This is a unique roster for Ed Cooley because of the depth and talent that he has. He's been playing up to 10 guys. Now, I think that's got to get whittled down a little bit. But this freshman class and this group that he has, they're the building blocks for the future, and they just signed an outstanding recruiting class already. So Ed Cooley's got Providence rolling, more so than that suit. And, Coach, you're looking good. 3-piece. It's a good look. The qualities that you need to have to play for Ed Cooley. You got to be tough physically and mentally. And as he said, I've got to hear you say please and thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't want his guys taking stuff for granted. He wants them to be grateful and appreciative for the opportunities that they're afforded. Thibault down. Matisse steps back. That's long. Fight for the loose ball, and eventually Diallo comes away with it. And he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Alpha Diallo. Good defender.
When you talk about where do you beat the zone, how do you beat the zone? Well, one way to beat the zone is pushing the ball up in transition and not allowing that zone to set up, and that's what the Friars did right there with Diallo.
You want to read the promo?
No, you got this.
Okay. Diallo gets the first, fresh off their thrashing of Notre Dame, undefeated, and #3 Miami. They're at home. They'll take on Virginia at noon Eastern on ABC, also streaming live on the ESPN app. The Canes and the Cavaliers.
I'm a fan of the turnover chain. You like the turnover chain?
Yeah, I mean it's getting close to jumping the shark, but yes,
I like it.
And a travel, another turnover. That's 8 on Washington as Noel turns it over.
Yeah, if the turnover chain was part of Ed Cooley's system, maybe the chain would be turning over a lot of guys real quickly here. Good job. Force the turnover. Here you go.
Kai Ashton Langford into the game. He has the ball. Great activity there to step in. Thibault takes it away. Picks it up ahead. Getting fouled is Carter.
And this is where Thibault is excelling right now. Watch him reading the ball, seeing it, perfect timing, utilizing his length at the top of that zone, tracking it all the way, and then creating an opportunity for his teammate out in transition.
Michael Carter III. It's an interesting case. You know, you're looking to fill out your roster, and a guy who's from the Seattle area, was originally signed with San Francisco. Late developer. He was 5'9" as a sophomore in high school, and now 6'4". But Mike Hopkins thought this kid could be a useful player for us.
The thing about Seattle-based players is they take a great deal of pride in the Pacific Northwest. And when Lorenzo Romar had Washington rolling, and he did for a long time, he really built a fort around the city of Seattle. And he convinced the best players in Seattle to stay in Seattle. And I think if that's what the point of emphasis is going to be for Washington, there's a lot of talent up there. They're going to get really good really quick.
There's a lot of talent, no question. Diallo wanders into the paint, needs some help, and now a takeaway from Noel. Kicks it up ahead, crisp. Now the lob. Thibault throws it down.
One of the things Washington does extremely well is on turnovers off their zone, they are looking to run and score. They're not slowing down the game, looking to play in the half court.
Diallo on the baseline gets fouled, and he'll go to the line.
What I've been impressed with so far, Providence's ability to space the floor, try to find seams and gaps to get it in, but defense leading the offense. The last couple possessions for Washington as they're fighting their way back into the game. Get a steal, throw it ahead. Know the athleticism and finish. 2-point game.
Back here, Madison Square Garden. 2K Sports Classic. John Sciambi and Sean Farnham, semifinal number 2, and had a, you'd say, a mild upset of sorts in game 1 as St. Louis got past Virginia Tech, and they await the winner, the Billikens, of this one for the championship tomorrow night.
Well, you look at this game right now, Washington is shooting 12 percentage points higher from the field than is Providence. The problem is they have more turnovers than shot attempts. 8 turnovers, only 7 shot attempts for the Huskies so far in this game. And because of those turnovers, 9 of the 15 points have come off of them.
Diallo short on his first. Mentioned a New York City kid. Went to Frederick Douglass High School and got some family here watching, cheering on the Friars. Drew Edwards checking in. Diallo will take a seat. Just picking up his dribble. Three-pointer a little strong. Noel the rebound. Let's see what they get here. Looks like a foul. A foul beyond Nate Watson. One of the things to point out as far as Providence, for as much depth as they have, they are without a guy who's a crucial player, kind of a glue guy for them in Emmett Holt. He's got an issue with his abdomen, and he's a guy that they really miss. They lost their last game at home against Minnesota. Ed Cooley really felt like if they had Emmett Holt, they would have won the game.
Yep.
Dickerson knocks that one down. Ed Cooley also paid a high compliment to the Golden Gophers' Jordan Murphy. He said he is the best player, or at least played the best, of anybody that we've coached against while at Providence. Lob attempt, and that one through the hands of Watson and into the hands of Noel. Thibault a three. Out of bounds, and it's Washington basketball.
Pace of this game is good so far in the early stages. Execution, that needs to get tidied up.
Kick out, Noel, and a rebound ripped down by Drew Edwards. Bullock dribbles out. Lindsay could shoot it and buries that one. Jalen Lindsay missed the opener with a sore knee. He was 46% from three last year.
Yeah, won the Most Improved Player award for the team, and it was good to get him back in that last contest just to kind of get his legs under. Not 100%, but certainly much better for it right now.
9 turnovers on the Huskies.
All right, so you beat the zone, you can get scored down low, that's fine, but you get the ball in the middle, then you kick out to shooters that have their feet set and are ready to knock it down. A little bit of a late closeout. That's one way to beat it. So we've seen Providence actually mix it up. They've been able to score inside, and they've been knocking down their perimeter shots so far. 2 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Inside, Young, point blank, and couldn't finish. Thibault from Noel, finger roll will go.
And that's that baseline help. In transition, they threw the ball ahead. Slow, step slow, reacting to the baseline, allowed him to cut back to the middle and then finish.
Bullock inside on the baseline. And Dickerson with the rebound. And Noel bumped. They get Drew Edwards on that foul. 2-point game, Providence with the lead.
Watch the transition, drive baseline, slow in the rotation over. Rodney Bullock's got to get out there more pressing and cut off that baseline sooner, so it allows the trailing guard to close the door. By him rotating over slowly and allowing Thibault to get deeper into him, there was no opportunity for the trailing guard to close that door and not allow that shot.
Thibault. That one was too strong, but right there for the putback is Noel.
And Thibault on the way back looked at Crisp and said that was a pass. No one is buying that, and the official score is not giving you an assist.
Edwards at the free throw line. Feed inside, out of bounds. And it'll be Washington basketball, tied at 19. Well, tomorrow night, tip off your weekend. An NBA doubleheader on ESPN. First at 8 Eastern, it's the Thunder and the Spurs. And that's followed by the Pelicans and Nuggets. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown, charged by Mountain Dew, 7 Eastern.
Pair of great games last night on ESPN. LeBron James and the Cavs, a hard-fought victory against the Hornets.
Big thing now, talking about how many minutes he's playing. He's playing really well. Young rebounding the Edwards miss. And Khalif Young.
That's going to be 2 fouls on Johnson.
So Carlos Johnson picks up his second. And Young to the line. Khalif, a sophomore from Vaughan, Ontario, Canada.
He actually does a really good job of running rim to rim, especially for his size.
Yep.
And people said that coming into the season, he's a little bit under the radar. Well, he's on the radar screen now. There's nothing about him that's under the radar. He is going to be a consistent presence for Ed Cooley.
They're usually going to find 6'9", 255 on the radar. It's hard to hide.
I don't know how radars work, but it just sounds fun when they say he's under the radar.
Right.
Is he over the radar if we overhype him?
Could be. Timmons had it stripped away. Malik White, feet inside, and able to put it in is Khalif Young.
They never took the ball out of bounds. Chris sat for a second, was waiting for somebody to come back.
And then just started
and
dribbling.
And then was like, you know what, I'm just going to dribble it up the floor.
Sure.
It doesn't work that way, so the official had to stop the play. Do you know how hard you have to work to get to the line 15 times in a college basketball game? That's not easy.
Noel gives off.
That's 11 turnovers now for Washington. They came into the game averaging 12.5 turnovers through the first 2 games of the season. They have 11, and there's 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. And a lot of them are unforced. I mean, it's illegal screens, it's error passes.
Out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Friars. Dickerson checks back in. Timmons will sit. Mike Hopkins works those subs in and out.
The concerns that Ed Cooley had, and he talked about them today, talking about playing against a zone and a team that's going to play zone from the very start to the very end of the game. You shoot around, you're not working on your man-to-man stuff because they're not going to it. So you've got to be really crisp in your execution, and so far, they've shared the ball extremely well. 6 assists on 7 made field goals for Providence.
Jackson gets inside, flips that one up, and a rebound pulled down by Carter. Thibault handling. Crossover there. Steps back, fires, can't hit. Noel steals the pass back the other way. Dickerson up and under off the glass and good.
He is so strong. Because that was good defense. He didn't have a lot of separation, and he's not the type of athlete that's going to finish up over the top of you in those kind of scenarios.
Jackson gets fouled on the floor. Isaiah Jackson, the George Mason transfer.
makes Noah Dickerson so hard to guard. He just carves out space. Look at him, low to his shoulders, a little up and under, kept his pivot foot down and finished strong.
Two big guys. Dickerson 6'8", 245, working on Young 6'9", 255.
You know, so often now, young bigs, they want to dunk everything for the show, right? So what they're losing, though, is their footwork, their balance, and learning to play with angles. And that's what Noah Dickerson does. He creates angles where he can score.
Thibault to kick out. Providence takes it the other way, and it's Cartwright. Kyron Cartwright. Feed inside. Diallo lost the handle. Huskies the other way. Noel off the glass and good, and we're tied. Jalen Noel, part of that big recruiting class, and he decided to stay.
The only one that did commit and stay and reaffirm his commitment, and when he did, he said, I believe in my city. And he wanted to rep his city, and he's doing that very well. In fact, he beat Markelle Fultz's debut with 32 points in their first game against Belmont. And look at the two teams Washington play. They play Belmont. They go home and they beat Vanderbilt. They play Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington then goes to Stanford and wins.
First lead of the game for the Huskies. Of course, Michael Porter Jr. was part of that initial class. Ended up at Missouri.
He ends up staying in Columbia, Missouri tonight as his team is out playing in Salt Lake City against Utah.
Yeah, didn't make the trip.
Michael Porter Jr. has played 2 minutes through 2 games with an undisclosed injury that has been listed as day-to-day, but day-to-day enough that he didn't even take the flight.
Loose ball. And eventually Friars come up with it. Diallo, the two-handed throwdown. Now the New York kid with the dunk at the Garden. It's got to be cool for him. Friars a 3-point lead. Thibault lost the handle. Loose ball again. And a foul on Washington. And let's see who they got that on. It'll be on Dickerson.
And that's his second personal foul.
And he is waving to Mike Hopkins. No, don't take me out.
And he's going to lose that battle. Kyron Cartwright going to the free throw line. Second team All Big East last season.
He was 4th in the nation in assists. Led the league at 6.7.
And you mentioned the consistency of point guard play. Here's numbers that you can use if you're Ed Cooley and you're recruiting guards. Do you realize 4 Friars in the last 6 seasons have led the Big East in assists? You thank Chris Dunn for a couple of those.
Thibault behind the back. Noel not able to hit. Here come the Friars with a 3-point advantage. Bullock rattles it in. A 3 for Rodney Bullock, and the Friars on a 7-0 run. Travel. 13 turnovers of the Huskies in the first half.
And the Huskies are playing for Duke. We've already seen what they could do as they knocked off Michigan State at the Champions Classic. It is going to be a fantastic tournament over 4 days in Portland, Oregon.
I'm kind of jealous now.
You should have called
out there.
You should have called me.
Cartwright buries a 3.
I would have fought for you, partner.
Largest lead for Providence as they are up by 9. Under 3 to go here first half. John Shelby, Sean Farnham, the 2K Sports Classic from Madison Square Garden. The winner will take on St. Louis in a championship tomorrow night. Thibault's pass is stolen. Another turnover. That's 14.
Thibault's pass was an outlet pass for Providence offense.
Good look. Bullock fouled.
I mean, there is just zero awareness by Washington right there in Thibault. I mean, the defense was rotating over. You threw it to an empty spot. You didn't throw it where it was going to your target hand of your post player.
.10-0 run, make it 11-0 for the Friars.
What you're going to see, go ahead and see Bullock at the top of your screen. Watch where he gets to as he cuts behind the back of the defense, and nobody steps over. Nobody rotates over to help. And when they did, it was too late.
Feed inside, they get a kick. It'll reset to 20.
Make the game easy, right? To be successful, the game's got to come a little easy. Right now, things are difficult for Washington at the offensive end. Even that, it ends up still being their ball. I mean, it's not easy. It's hard. They're fighting the system.
Another turnover. That's 15. Great work. Makai Ashton Langford, the freshman.
And you can ask yourself, who could be the next guard that takes over when Cartwright's gone?
Him.
It's him. I mean, before Minnesota game.
And one. Chance at a 4-point play for David Crisp.
Never foul a three-point shooter. And this one was late closeout. Crisp, a little step back. Hit the offhand on the follow-through. Crisp is the life of the party for Washington. At shoot around, he's dancing, he's moving, he's a high-energy guy.
That's Brewster Academy. He's the leading returning scorer. Started every game last year.
One area he's got to get better is his assist-to-turnover ratio. And right now, it's just 1 for 1, and that's not what you want to see.
Bullock feeds Young. Couldn't convert. Contested. Eventually, Green comes away with it. Crisp up ahead. Inside, Crisp. But there might have been some interference there. White the hesitation, and he gets fouled.
Let me ask you, Boog. What is the degree of difficulty, though, of Crisp's layup at this end of the floor?
Yeah, I would say, are we going on a 5 scale or a 10 scale?
Let's go on a 10 scale.
I'm going to go like 9.5.
Yeah, I mean, so even when you're in transition, you're trying to make extremely difficult shot out of what should be a very simple shot. And that has been, to me, the entire first half offensively for Washington. And you credit Providence because obviously they've sped them up. They've gotten in their head a little bit. It's a mental thing right now with 15 turnovers, and then you're making things difficult when you even have opportunities to score layups.
Right.
And Providence is taking advantage of it.
10-point lead for the Friars. Coming up on a minute to go in the first half. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Washington. And another pass. Thibault either telegraphed, just didn't put enough zip on it.
Deflections, steals, errant passes.
Crisp from Green gets a 3. That's his second 3-point basket. David Crisp down with 6.
Look at the ball movement. What a great offensive possession. Everything but the shot. But as far as a textbook offensive possession against the zone, they got it in, they kicked it out, they reversed it, got it back inside without a single dribble. They were shifting and rotating the defense beautifully on that possession for Providence.
101 down the other end for Dominic Green. Young will grab a seat. And Drew Edwards checking back in. Jalen Lindsey back in. 37-30. Friars on top. Late first half. And Green can't hit the front end of the 1-and-1.
And Ed Cooley with a great timeout right here. He wants to set it up. It's a 30-second shot clock, 30.2. You're getting the last look if you're Providence.
Back here at MSG, turnovers a huge factor. Friars have been able to get Washington to turn it over 15 times, and Providence has turned it in to 13 points.
It's like if you just continue to give someone the opportunity to do something, they're going to find success. And that's what Washington has done. And then once you do give that confidence to somebody, what happens then? They execute, they believe they can make shots, and it carries over to other aspects of the game, even when they have to execute in the half court.
Bullock at a shot block. 3.9 to go.
They have 4 seconds on the shot clock with only 3.9 seconds remaining in the game. I think you can turn off the shot clock.
Yeah. White has the shot block, heaved the other way, and the first half ends. Friars on top 37-30. Time to send it to the studio. John Brickley, Tom Crean, and Dalen Cup.
All right, Boog, thanks so much as we welcome you into the Land Rover halftime report.
Oh, the pie.
Are you hungry?
I am starving.
Late night pizza, ahoy. Providence at the break, leading Washington 37-30. Back here, Madison Square Garden, John Sciambi and Sean Farnham. And really, it doesn't take, no disrespect intended, a super analyst to break down turnovers. Turnovers played a pretty crucial role in the first half.
You think?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's good. That's good. I'm going to try to break it down for you. 15 turnovers is too many in the first half. And, you know, you talk about, okay, you got to go against the zone, the 2-3 zone. Well, you don't have to go against the zone, partner, when you get turnovers and you run out in transition. 19 points coming off of those 15 turnovers. A lot of them look like these, where they're able to run in the open floor and they're not going against the 2-3 zone all packed together, all tight. For Coach Hopkins. Now his team is only 7 points down. If they want to start valuing the basketball, they had some success offensively. They just need to slow down the mental game. They need to slow down themselves on the offensive end of the floor.
Rodney Bullock to inbound, leads all scorers with 12 points. Diallo from the elbow knocks it down.
Great pass though by Jackson. Pressure coming to him, trapped it down low, right to the out elbow area in the zone. With the guards extended up a little bit higher, that's going to be the spot that's going to be open.
Possession a little stagnant right now. It's Crisp. Oh, there's the tip as Timmons is able to put that one in. And for Timmons, his first 2 of the night.
They're trying to gain confidence with Timmons. In fact, last night at practice, Coach Hopkins asked him, said, whose paint is this? And he said, mine. He said, you got to say it louder. You've got to own this part of the floor.
Isaiah Jackson knocks down that jumper. And Providence back out front by 9. Yeah, Sam Timmons, their sophomore big man. He has the ball now from New Zealand. First ever player for Washington from New Zealand. Feed inside. Good hands, knocked away, up ahead, Jackson. And then Noah Dickerson takes it back.
Well, that was a gift by Jackson. They secure the turnover. There's no need to you don't have to score in transition in that. If you don't have it, you just jump stop, come solid with the ball, find your point guard and set up your offense.
Thibault flips it in, Dickerson, good position. And 1. Noah Dickerson.
The pin and seal. Again, we mentioned it in the first half for Dickerson. He does such a great job creating an angle to score, and his hands are outstanding. Watch this. Pin, seal high, brings it in with 1, gathers with 2, and then the soft touch and the roll.
You know, you look at numbers on guys, and then to get them to see him play live, you want to try to understand what matches up. You watch him play, I get it.
Yep.
Like, you understand where the numbers come from and what his skill set is for sure.
And the funny thing is, so does everybody that's wearing a Friars uniform, and they still can't stop it.
Cartwright can't hit, out of bounds. Washington basketball, so a chance for the Huskies to cut into a 7-point deficit.
And Dickerson was limited to 12 minutes in the first half. Remember, he was trying to talk his way out of going to the bench when he picked up his 2nd personal foul, but they took him out of the game. Now you've got to re-engage him. You just got a good high-low. I'd go right back to him. The offense has been stuck on this side of the floor so far.
Noel, pull-up jumper, got it. Jalen Noel, the freshman from Seattle. He's got 7. It's a 5-point game. Good hands by the Huskies, force the turnover. Malik White is going to check into the game for the Friars. They cool, a little frustrated early with their offense. Chris buries a 3, and just like that, the Huskies within 2. 7-0 run. Young inside, hangs and hits.
Good answer. That was a good answer by Providence to get the balls down low. Previous possession, Cartwright took the 3 up over the top.
Timmons. The follow and the flush for the big guy from New Zealand. So Big Sam getting involved in the action. 43-41 winner will take on St. Louis tomorrow night in a championship game. And a travel inside.
In the first 4 minutes of the first half, Washington had 6 turnovers. They come out in the first 4 with only 1. That's why the game's tighter. Their offense back on track.
ESPN.
You look at the execution here in the second half so far. Washington 5 of 7 shooting from the field. Their 2 misses were putbacks by Timmons. And a great job by him, a little swing move over the top and able to finish. And the Huskies have taken a 7-point deficit and whittled it down to 2 in the first 4 minutes.
Done a better job shooting from the floor and taking care of the basketball. David Crisp overall in this game with 3 3-pointers. He's got 9. So a 2-point game. Bible to Noel has it stripped away. Out of bounds. Stays with Washington. The freshman to inbound. Providence starting the year 1-1. Washington 2-0 in the early season. Dickerson gets fouled.
How good is he at drawing fouls? And he just does an excellent job creating the opportunity for contact to come and earn the trip to the free throw line. He applies pressure to you. There's a lot of banging going on down there, and a point of emphasis this year for officials. They want clean play in the post.
Dickerson has played here at Madison Square Garden before. He's from Georgia, went to Montverde Academy and played with Ben Simmons. And they won the national title.
The Dick's National Championship, every year you see it on ESPNU right around the time of the Final Four. The best prep schools in the country all come together and battle for a championship.
Thibault with the takeaway, and now Crisp up ahead. Huskies with a chance to take the lead. Dickerson lost the handle. It kicks to Timmons. And the big guy will go to the line. A foul will be on Nate Watson, his third.
What you've seen is some resiliency, some better toughness overall from Washington.
And Timmons missing that time. All tied up. Good look inside. Timmons the block. He blocked Watson. Thibault can't hit. Bullock the board. And they get Matisse Thibault for the foul on Cartwright.
How about the action underneath? Timmons in the second half is a completely different player. His energy level, his activity, and his toughness.
Bullock from way downtown. Got it! NBA range.
15 now for Bullock.
Good hands there by Cartwright, knocking it out of bounds. Jalen Lindsey will check in. And Alpha Diallo will come out of the game. Tight one here at MSG. Winner will take on St. Louis tomorrow night. Chris way downtown. Bullock pulls down the board. White buries a three. Back-to-back deep threes for the Friars. And all of a sudden it's a 6-point Providence lead.
Well, and for the last 4 possessions, number 15 in White hasn't touched the ball in an operational area. You've got to find Dickerson underneath.
Noel hangs, a little too strong. Rebound by Timmons. And he'll go to the line. Big Sam has been great here in the second half.
Dribble up the floor, the kick out for White. Close out a step slow. And back-to-back threes took what was a tie game to a 6-point deficit real quick.
That'll go for Timmons. Watson's got to sit as he's collected 4 fouls now. And Khalif Young will check in. 49-44, Providence leads. John Shambi, Sean Farnham from Madison Square Garden. Aaron Cartwright running the offense. White going to work, feeds inside, and off the glass and good for Khalif Young.
Really good, strong possession that time for Providence.
Dickerson gets it to go. That's a 2.
I think if you go 4 or 5 possessions without Dickerson touching the ball, that's probably 2 or 3 possessions too many. You've got to at least give him an opportunity. He's a willing passer. He'll pass the ball out if he doesn't have the angle.
Kick out. Huskies take it away. Noel on the move. Kicks off to Thibault, and they get the foul on the Friars. See who they got.
They got Cartwright on it. The official was pointing down at the line. Cartwright was outside of the arc. And the other aspect of it was he was passing the ball. So they're trying to award 2 free throws. So that would be the first thing that's incorrect. The second thing that would be incorrect was Cartwright's feet were outside of the line, and the official pointed down to inside the halo for the reason for why the call went against him.
Yep. And now they're going to correct at least part of it.
Well, you can't go back and remove the foul.
Right. It will not be a shooting foul. Drew Edwards will check in. And Cartwright will sit. Timmons looking for some help. Finds Noah. Pull up foul line jumper. Loose ball is tracked down by the Friars. White up ahead. Finds Young. Edwards wanders in, lays it up and in.
What a smart move by Edwards to gather himself and attack the interior. A little shot fake, step underneath, and finish with an N1 opportunity. Shield and protect the ball, elevate the defense, and then step underneath.
Foul on Timmons, and that'll be his 3rd.
Really impressed with the composure and the body control that Edwards just demonstrated. To jump stop in the paint. If you're at home and you're a kid and you're playing high school basketball for, say, Harvard Westlake in Southern California, jump stop and make a play. You don't always have to jump and shoot the floater off of one leg.
Risk hesitation, kick out Green. And Young rips away a rebound. Edwards, shot clock under 10. Lindsay, blocked by Timmons, saves it. Nope. It'll be Providence basketball. Big block. Sam Timmons been playing great here in the second half, but his Huskies trailing by 7.
See,
you're going to be rude.
My alma mater might be pulling a little bit for the Bruins, just maybe. By the way, shot clock was reset to 30. They determined that there was control by Timmons after the block prior to his foot coming down out of bounds.
Providence ball up 7. Feed inside.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Young did not like that call at all. I mean, his jaw dropped, his eyes almost popped out of his head. He could not believe it. He was pinning and sealing. He thought it was clean.
How about the Huskies? Turned it over 15 times in the first half. They've only turned it over once. Crisp can't hit. Lindsey skies for the board.
Sometimes it comes down to shot selection, though, for Crisp. And that was an ill-advised shot. One pass in the offense. You can get that anytime on a contested 3. Turn it down, get the ball inside. Remember when you made your push and you tied the game, you were scoring in the rim. Dickerson was getting the ball.
White can't hit. Loose ball. Scramble and a fight for it. And they're going to go possession arrow. And it belongs to Washington. Michael Carter, the 3rd into the game. Or beg your pardon, Mass Carter. Good look inside. Dickerson had it blocked, regathers. Had it blocked again.
He was fouled, though, and will go to the free throw line for 2.
As they get the foul on Lindsey.
But a better job that time by Chris to find Dickerson. Drive, drop it off, feed the big fella. Get him engaged, because when he's engaged at the offensive end, and so often this is the case, you engage your big man at the offensive end, that energy level that they get from that, unfortunately, it spills over to the defensive end of the floor. So if you ignore them, then they kind of get a little lethargic at the defensive end of the floor for not touching the ball. You feed them, they get more engaged. Defensively, you get better production.
It's the way I work. Feed man, you're a lot better.
Hold on, let me get you something.
54-49, closing in on the 10-minute mark. Kyron Cartwright on the bench at the moment for Providence. Edwards short, but he's fouled. Drew Edwards will go to the line. Edwards, a sophomore from Maryland. Had some knee issues last year that slowed him down. Providence last year getting to the NCAA tournament for the 4th straight season, 120 games. 95% of their offense is back as Cartwright watches. Ed Cooley likes his team. They're talented.
And with great reason. And you look at the Big East too this year. And Villanova, obviously one of the premier programs in the country right now. Jay Wright, year in and year out, the consistency. Chris Mack at Xavier, Seton Hall ranked inside the top 25. And for Villanova, they've got a freshman by the name of Amari Spellman, who posted a double-double in his first collegiate game and has played so well. And Seth Gradenberg spent some time with him just the other day and said he's the real deal at practice.
Providence the lead, back down to 4. Diallo kick inside, good ball movement, and one. Khalif Young will put that home. That was excellent work at the offensive end, and it started with Diallo, and they moved the ball so nicely.
Good dump down, and then the strong finish up over the top. There's a lot to went into that play, though, prior to the finish.
Offensive rebound, and Providence will set it back up. Diallo from the elbow.
And that's the byproduct of the basket before. The basket before, they stepped up to the ball as it came to the elbow. That's what created the seam to dump it down and finish for Young. That time, the defensive line, the back line held true. They stayed back, and the easy finish for Diallo.
Dickerson and one. Noah Dickerson, the junior from Atlanta. He has a lot to handle down low.
Yeah, isolate him on the side. Look, there is nobody around him. You are on an island if you're defensively guarding Noah Dickerson on that set. And when you're on an island, you should be afraid because he's going to make you pay.
Diallo pulls down the rebound. 6-point advantage for Providence. And again, they find the seam. Kick to the corner and the triple from Drew Edwards. Friars in the second half just carving up the Washington defense. 11 out of 15 from the floor in the second half for Providence. Good steal as Lindsey comes away with it. And Malik White taking it into the front court. Diallo feeds inside and finds his buddy Khalif Young. Washington calls timeout. The Friars on quite a roll. A 9-2 run, and the lead has ballooned to 11. By Mount Dew.
Combination of Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins. They can score. Providence, they can really score too, in particular in the second half. And we're going to show you here in just a matter of minutes just how perfect they have executed against this zone of Washington, in particular the last 4 possessions.
Yeah, it's like tic-tac-toe, the way they move the ball.
I was never good at tic-tac-toe.
It's a complicated game. Good hands there by Edwards.
I'm going to try to figure out how to play tic-tac-toe, but I know what good offense is when I see it. And I've seen a lot of it here in the second half. All right, let's go inside the play driven by Continental Tire. If you're a coach and your name's Dave Ribebo on the West Coast, he's one of my friends, Boog. Get a zone offense like this one. Providence has been slicing them up the entire second half. This is a clinic of how to get the ball in the middle of the 2-3 zone and kick it and find open shots. Then you can also attack it during the baseline. When you attack baseline, it forces that back line to shift as they step, dump it off in a small window, and find your big and able to finish.
They've been brilliant. I mean, just brilliant with it.
Well, think about this. How unselfish, how productive can you be as a team? 73% shooting here in the second half. On the game, let this sink in. 21 of their 23 made field goals are via the assist.
Thibault. And they go with the travel. Matisse Thibault turned it over a number of times in this game.
I mean, I've been blown away with the patience and poise and precision attack of Providence against this zone.
Diallo inside, Lindsey, shot contested, and then they get the foul, and they got that one on Malik White. So 1-1 spot here. Sean, it's been interesting, this great stretch, this run without Kyron Cartwright on the court for the Friars. So,
and that speaks to what Ed Cooley told us is the deepest team he's ever coached. He really feels like there's multiple players that can fulfill roles and be productive The challenge when you have a team that's as deep as this is trying to figure out, okay, how do I manage minutes? How do I give guys and put them in the right opportunity where they can be successful?
Yep.
And there's going to come a time during the course of the year where there's going to be some guys that can really play, and their minutes are going to get cut back dramatically on one night, and the next night it might be 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I wonder if when they're really rolling, if they're still going to be playing 10.
If they all come in and share the basketball as well as they have tonight, the answer to that question will be yes. I mean, just another smart play by Edwards. Little shot fake, elevated crisp as he leaves his feet and comes into you. Pick up the foul.
Edwards with 8 points, all in the second half. Done really nice work.
When you look at Ed Cooley on the sideline, you see him right there. He's brought in another top-flight recruiting class. David Duke, the number 54 recruit in the country according to ESPN's Top 100. AJ Reeves, number 53 recruit in the country according to ESPN.com. Paul Biancardi.
And again, great ball movement. Diallo's done a really nice job. He's been a big part as a facilitator in slicing up this zone. And Noel able to answer with a big three.
Noel's a scorer that can get going quickly. Still plenty of time in this game if you're Washington. You got to start taking pride at this end of the floor. You've got to start getting stops and stringing a couple together.
Diallo inside. And an offensive foul to go the other way.
And Diallo immediately pointing inside. The feet were outside.
Yeah, they were.
He looked like he was going down for the block call and then reversed it into the charge. But a big moment right there. We'll see if Washington can capitalize on this and tighten it up.
I don't know if he got there, but he definitely was outside the circle. The half circle. And Dickerson drawing the foul. They get that on Khalif Young. He's got 4. And remember, Nate Watson, one of their other bigs, has 4.
That up and under move Dickerson has gone to at least 3 times in this game, and every single time he's either scored or drawn the foul.
And that time right into your living room. 18 points, 5 rebounds coming off that 28-point, 22 rebound effort against Eastern Washington. Six to go, 8-point game. Mike Hopkins, his team off to the 2-0 start. Coming here to Madison Square Garden. Ed Cooley made no bones about it. He said, we're playing in this tournament to simulate the Big East tournament.
They stay at the same hotel they stay at when they come for the Big East tournament.
Great look, Cartwright, out of bounds. It'll stay with Providence.
And I love coaches that find a way to get inside the building that they're playing in when they get to the conference tournament.
Yeah, like a practice run.
The other aspect that is very similar to obviously a tournament setting, a postseason champ week kind of setting, is that you're going to play in back-to-back days as well.
Possession arrow, and it goes back to Providence. And a turnover. Dickerson kicks opposite. Green gets into the paint. Out of bounds, it stays with Washington. 5:25 to go. Friars lead this one by 8. Boog Shambi, Sean Farnham from the world's most famous arena.
That kickball will reset the shot clock again to 20 seconds, a new rule. And again, because it was not in that diagonal line from the elbow to the baseline, Washington's going to take the ball on the sideline.
Crisp gets inside, and they get the block. So that's on Diallo, and he's got 4.
And that's a good call. It's over the line. And I believe the technical was just assessed. Well, they just changed the foul.
They called it offensive. Wow. So they got the foul.
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. And Diallo was on the line.
Look, if his heel is up, it's over the line.
Yeah.
So you can say, well, the heel was up, his toes were on the paint.
Providence a little sloppy last couple of times. Look at Noel exploding to the basket. Jalen Noel.
He's got such a bright future. He's got a knack for scoring the ball.
Bullock up and under. That wouldn't go out of bounds. Huskies basketball. 6-point game.
Talk about Noel and Mike Hopkins, who's coached a lot of really talented players as an assistant at Syracuse. Says he has a knack for scoring the ball similar to Carmelo Anthony. That's a pretty good knack to have.
Noel. And a rebound by Diallo. Edwards has been really crucial for the Friars in the second half. Diallo pulls up. No basket. They get the travel. Friars with 10 turnovers in the second half. Closing it on 4 to go. And a 6-point game. Kick out, Green, in and out. And a big rebound there by Edwards. Dominic Green had a really good look at it.
I would have preferred Noah Dickerson to go up with that shot. The higher percentage shot was Noah Dickerson going right up.
Cartwright from way downtown off the glass wouldn't go. And a fight for the loose ball. Foul on Washington. Timeout on the court. 6-point game. Friars with the lead. Madison Square Garden. Friars with the lead. Providence on top here as they lead it by 6. John Chomby and Sean Farnham. 2K Sports Classic semifinal number 2. St. Louis able to get past Virginia Tech in our first semifinal. And St. Louis, Travis Ford's team with a good win. And they await the winner of this one. And they'll play tomorrow night in a championship game.
Free throws down the stretch. Both teams have done a good job getting to the line. Neither team has really excelled at the free throw line.
As you were saying. Crisp launches. Short. Loose ball out of bounds. Washington basketball.
I know part of that is Crisp's game. He's going to take some shots. But there's been 2 or 3 possessions in the second half where you've looked at it and been like, you could get a better one than that. And that was one of those possessions. Don't be afraid to turn one down.
Feed inside. Dickerson, left hand, wouldn't go. Offensive rebound. Put back wouldn't go. And now Chris dribbles it out. Poise and hits. Oh, my goodness.
By the way, that's also one of those shots that as a coach you go, no, 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 no. Yes.
Great job.
Wonderful.
And it's down to 3 with under 3 to go. Huskies on an 11-3 run. And Watson inside gets fouled. And that's on Dickerson. And that's crucial because that is number 5.
Good battle underneath on that last possession. Dickerson unable to finish a shot fake. Dribble right out, step, and shoot. And the bigger aspect of all of that, though, is the fact that Noah Dickerson is done for the game.
Can I throw something out there? I know this is not a big deal, but I don't understand why when somebody fouls out, it effectively becomes a free timeout. Like,
it shouldn't.
Somebody fouls out, let's go, let's play.
It shouldn't. It's one of those things that they've talked about with the officials. You've got about 20 seconds to get that next player in the game, and a couple times tonight, it's been a minute and a half as the coaches get out there. Anytime a coach grabs their clipboard to start drawing, they're not worrying about who they're subbing in. Right. So just as an official, you go, no, you're coming on the floor now, let's go. And it disrupts the flow of the game, and something that all officials need to be staying on top of and trying to improve. Pace of play.
3-point game. Watson misses the first, gets the second. And the lead back to 4.
With Dickerson out, I look for number 5, Noel, to get involved in this game. He becomes your primary scoring target.
Crisp off balance, wild shot. Thibault rattles it home, huge! And it's a 1-point game. Matisse Thibault. How about that possession? Crazy. Well, the Friars have run good offense almost the entire second half. Watson inside, puts it up, puts it in. Crisp. Timmons swooping in. And then Watson absorbs a foul. And they got that on Dominic Green.
Well, one offensive end, it's kind of just been out of sorts, but Thibault able to corral the ball as it bounced out to him and knock down the 3-point shot. But the answer from Providence, get the ball down low. The strength, the size of Watson able to turn over Timmons, who's not a shot blocker, and able to finish.
Nate Watson, who's dropped 25 pounds, got himself into good shape. Free throw in and out. Closing it on 90 seconds, 3-point game. Noel with Diallo on him. Off balance.
Too many off-balance shots by Washington.
Cartwright. Lindsay had his shot contested. Green lost the ball. Providence basketball.
Play quick. You cannot hurry. You cannot be rushed. And Washington has been a little rushed on the last couple of possessions.
Well, fans fresh off their thrashing of Notre Dame, undefeated in number 3 Miami. They're at home. The Hurricanes will take on Virginia at noon. And that's Saturday on ABC. I don't really have a dog in the fight, but I was scolded by LaFonso Ellis for emphasizing the thrashing of Notre Dame.
Fonz, by the way, is one of the greatest human beings I've ever met.
Ever.
Okay, but how would he describe it? What adjective would he use to describe what we saw last Saturday? Beat down?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. 1:14 to go in this one. Providence up by 3 with the basketball. They've got contributions from all over. Bullock's got 15. Young with a dozen. Edwards with 11. All of Edwards' points in the second half, and Diallo's got 11. Providence with 3 different guys with 5 or more assists as well. And I think that tells a big story as far as how they've shared the basketball. Cartwright to inbound. Gets to Bullock, and now they'll set it up. 15 in the shot clock.
Clock is your friend, but you want to be aggressive here for Providence. You don't want to take a poor shot. It's going to be a quick miss and an easy run out, potentially on a long rebound.
Way downtown, and a shot clock violation, and that was just kind of a lost possession right there. They just passed it around the edges and then settled for that chuck.
I kind of sensed when they got the ball that they weren't being as aggressive as they were earlier in the half. Getting the ball in the middle of the defense, forcing it to collapse and move and shift. They threw that whole entire possession just out the window.
Thibault a 3. Tip and a loose ball. And that foul will be on Washington.
Basketball is a long game. The last 4 shot attempts for Washington, Boog, have all been threes. Yeah, it's a 3-point game, but there's plenty of time. There's multiple possessions. Don't be the hero. Win the game by executing. Win the game by driving. Get to the free throw line. Manufacture points for your team. They don't all have to be 3-point shots.
Young back in. Watson will sit. Cartwright makes it a 5-point game. 40.4 to go in semifinal number 2. The winner will take on St. Louis tomorrow night. Noel, strong drive, hangs, hits!
And that's what I'm talking about right there. Drive, manufacture, you get a 3-point play now. If you get to the free throw line and you're able to knock it down. Noel drives. Young picks up his 5th personal foul. He'll be out of the game. And a big bucket by a very talented freshman.
So Young is done. Dickerson is already fouled out for Washington.
Let me tell you a story about Noel. In high school, his jersey was number 12. And as a jersey he always wore until his sophomore year. He was in a game and he got something on his jersey. He had to change and it went to number 5. It happened to be the last game that his father ever saw him play. His father passed away his sophomore year of high school. He has worn number 5 ever since that game.
Bullock rebounds the miss. 3-point game. And now you got to go get him. Cartwright to Bullock. Oh my goodness.
Way too much time run off the clock.
Got a foul. Wow. (73-70), 12.5 to go, and Cartwright at the line. Kyron Cartwright, his parents are here from Compton. Kid from out there in the West Coast coming all the way to Providence. And he's got his family here. The 2K Sports Classic.
A highly entertaining game.
Been really good.
I mean, we've had some sloppy turnovers, too many turnovers for both teams. A much better job in the second half by Washington. That's what allowed them to tighten this thing up.
The 2K Classic, benefiting Wounded Warrior Project, is celebrating its 23rd anniversary this season and 20th at Madison Square Garden. 2017 2K Classic marks the 5th year that the Wounded Warrior Project is the beneficiary of the event, with the mission to honor and empower wounded warriors and to encourage warriors as they adjust to their new normal and achieve new triumphs. For more information about Wounded Warrior Project, log on woundedwarriorproject.org. St. Louis a winner over Virginia Tech earlier tonight, and they await the winner of this one. Championship game tomorrow night, 70s.
Great win by St. Louis. And Travis Ford's team, Javon Bess, a transfer from Michigan State with career highs in points and rebounds. They advance over the Hokies, and 12.5 seconds left. Providence going to win this game at the free throw line. And if you're Washington, you got to realize it's a 2-possession game. Get something going to the basket and get it there quick.
Crisp speeding ahead. The give off, Noel. And they're going to get a foul inside. I think that they got Sam Timmons. Indeed, they did.
They got Timmons going for the tip in. Not a bad idea for the dribble handoff 3. Again, I would have preferred 2-possession game. Get something going to the basket first.
You got to score
foul.
twice.
Yeah, foul, and then try to get this rebound and go to the other end. Instead, now you end up with an empty possession, giving up more free throws. And Rodney Bullock, who played very well tonight at the free throw line to ice this one away. His numbers tonight is where I expect to see him all season long. 16 and 8. When he plays like this, Providence is going to be a very difficult team to beat.
I thought they showed a lot of composure tonight in the second half. Offensively, just did a nice job. Friars win it 77-70 the final. And now for our player of the game, brought to you by 2K. And Rodney Bullock, 17 points and 9 rebounds. The 9th, the final board of the game.
Really
Providence will take on St. Louis.
22 assists on 25 made field goals. Be unselfish and watch your team win.
Up next, Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN from Cancun, Mexico. For Sean Farnham and our entire outstanding crew here at Madison Square Garden, I'm John Chambi saying so long from New York City.